Hello and welcome to Gary's Garage in a new location for the start of a new project. So like any good car enthusiast, you always end up with too many things and not enough space in which to store said things. And that's the exact situation I found myself in. And so I've been renting this barn off of a relative for a while, and I have filled it pretty much to the brim with stuff. And what I need to do now is try to sort and rearrange it, because there is a car just over there that I need to get out to make way for a big 4-post ramp, which you will have seen in the Shogun episodes. And that is coming from my dad's place, and that's going to come up here, and I'm going to make a little bit of use of that ramp in the future just to get a couple of feet off the floor. Unfortunately, the design of this building doesn't allow me to go full height, but it will allow me to at least get slightly higher off the floor, which is going to make things so much easier. So anyway, enough waffling. Let's get on to showing you what car I have sitting just over there. Handbrake should be off, so you pull, I'll push.
Okay.
So this is my 1997 Mitsubishi Legnum VR4, and it has the same 2.5 litre twin-turbo V6 engine as in the Anglia. And this is the vehicle that started my love with these engines. So I've had this since 2009. And up until 2 years ago, it was my daily driver. Unfortunately, as is the case with most Japanese cars of the 90s in the UK, they suffer very badly from rust, because they had almost no rust protection out the factory in Japan, because they don't use salt on their roads over there. And when it came over into the country, it was obviously never properly undersealed and never fully protected. So that means that, unfortunately, the tin worm has got to it. And whilst I've been doing little patches along with my dad in order to limp it along, get it through its annual tests, it was getting to the point where there was too much to do, because at the time I was also concentrating on getting the Anglia up and running and various other things. So this took a bit of a backseat, unfortunately. And what that means is, rather than let it get too much worse and run it totally into the ground, I decided to just park it up, and that's when I got a replacement car as a daily, which you may have seen is my Audi S4, which, whilst a much newer and arguably objectively a nicer car, it just doesn't have the soul that this has, and it's just not really the type of car that I enjoy. It's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but it's not this, and I'm still in love with this car. So the plan is to basically restore this to its former glory, and that will probably mean a full bare shell rebuild from the ground up, and I'm going to bring you along on the journey for it. So the first thing we need to do, though, because as I said, I need to get the ramp in here, and it's going to go sort of about where the car is I need to try to get this started. It has not moved for 2 years since we put it here, so let's get straight onto it. I've bought a battery from the Anglia, which is somewhere, and let's get that installed and see if we can get the car started, hopefully straight away, and we can drive it out and I can park it up somewhere else temporarily. Okay, so what we're going to do first is to just crank it over with the cam and crank angle sensors disconnected. That should allow it to just turn over, but not actually sink, not fire up, and try to just get a little bit of oil around the engine because it has sat and hasn't moved for 2 years, as I said. So let's see how that works. Help if I use the right key. That's the Shogun key. That is the Legnum key. Ooh. Okay, well the mirrors still work. Okay. So let's hook up the cam and crank and see if it will fire into life. Look at that. Yes. Oh, what a lovely sound that is. Okay, so what we need to do now is get it out, and I'm going to park it up temporarily somewhere else.
Straighten up a bit. That's on. Going, something's dragging.